printers. So we'll end up buying that on our own. We probably won't have that given to us. But a lot of times it comes like a booster club. You just sort of, you see something you have as a need and you want to build it, so you go out and try and find either a grant or get some business to help support us. We have a lot of business partners that are really good to us, and they don't just do a little bit, they try and do as much as they can and be a good business partner. So having good business partners that are in the STEM field, they make a lot of difference. We also participated the last couple of years in the Georgia STEM Day, and that's what gave me the vision when I came to visit the school and I saw them at Georgia STEM Day, because basically it was STEM all day long, every period of the day. The only time they weren't doing STEM was when they were eating lunch. Thank goodness they weren't stacking their trays up, or we could have had a disaster. But I was running through the school, checking everything out, because there were so many exciting activities. And I asked the nurse, how was her day going? My nurse said, I'm sort of bored. I said, why are you bored? She goes, it's so exciting today, none of the kids are sick. Nobody's sick. They all want to go do what all the cool stuff is. I said, that's what we want. We want that kind of activity in all of our schools, not just the STEM school, where the kids want to be there. They don't dare check out because there's so much fun and exciting things going on in the school. Thank you.
Jackie. Oh, by the way, that's Jackie Chen. She is the leader for the Video Kids group. She invited a lot of kids. So
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to echo and compliment how great Georgia State have done in terms of STEM. My son was a captain of the robotic team last year. And after this year, he graduated and now at Georgia Tech. And we were so surprised that when the robotics team went to the competition for the first, and we went all the way through and to St. Louis, how many teams came from Georgia. It's really proud to see how great state of Georgia compared to other states. And it's hard for us to compete because we don't have a heavy industries here. So our business partners are kind of limited. But then you compete with school, high school team from Texas, they have NASA. You compete with the school from Michigan, you know, they have all these big industrial companies. You compete with schools in California, Lockheed, and all these very high-tech companies, big companies. We have Siemens here, we have Georgia Power, we have some, but not as big. But state of Georgia have came a long way. I'm just surprised year after year how many more robotics team came along and got really well. I think this year the Georgia Math and Tech, that school, they went all the way to almost the semifinal. So that is just awesome to really attend some of those events and you see the announcements and here's a team came from Georgia. You just feel like so good when you compete international, compete nationwide. And now in my little club, I'm hearing more students saying, oh, I'm going to be in robotics team this year. I'm going to be in robotics next year. I've seen more and more students are very proud and focus on want to get into the robotics team. It's very in now. It is very trendy to get on the robotics team versus get on the football, the others. And I think for the Asian children, Asian school kids particularly, some of us are just not built to able to compete with basketball and football. But we don't mind in our skills. We are really great with putting those together on the technology side. So I'm just really happy to hear that what the state of Georgia is doing. You probably feel that working on it for a pretty long time, but we as parents, we actually seen how far we came along. Just on the robotics team, I can see how much advanced we became the last 4 years. So just really appreciate what you guys done and continue to do more for our children.
We have lots of robotics clubs at lots of schools that aren't even STEM certified schools. They just know that's what the kids like. And our club is so big, we're going to have 2 teams. We're very rural. When you say you don't have very many industries, I have a business park a few miles away, but they're not huge, but they are really invested because they know this is their future workforce because they need to make this work. So they're very invested in us, but having that kind of connection with students young, they get to experience things and see things at such a great level. And I'm not bragging, I'll just sort of tell you where it's going. Our local community, we have we have 5 high schools. We have 5 schools feeding that 1 high school. Our rocketry club that's at the high school that my kids feed into, they won a local contest, rocketry, and then they went to state. Well, they went to regional, then they went to state, then they went to big regionals, and then they won the United States competition for rocketing in the United States. And it's a very rural high school too. And they've only had a rocketry club a handful of years. Well, they just got an all-expense straight paid trip to go to London, England, and competed and flew a rocket. They gave them a certain parameter. It had to weigh so much, it had to go so fast, they had to stay up in the air for like 60 seconds, they had to carry 2 had to carry 2 raw eggs, and had to land, and it had to land within so many seconds without any of it breaking. So they gave them all these parameters. They finished 2nd in the world for my high school that my kids are feeding into. Can you imagine when I get one of those super cool Rocketeer geek guys coming and talking to my guys? They're going to be more excited to see him than Justin Bieber, because they get it. I got kids that want to be on all these rocketeering clubs and junior robotics clubs and Lego clubs and everything else that we've got. So that's where it's at. And it's cool to be smart. And it's cool to be a good student. And that's that Stevie Urkel effect that we used to watch and laugh at and all that, where the kids are like afraid to do all those things right. But at our schools and lots of schools where these students go, it's okay to be smart and do what you're supposed to do, because I tell my students and the other teachers I know and other principals, these are the kids that you're going to end up working for. So you better treat them nice in high school, because you're going to be working for them. That's the way it's going to be.
Great, Keith, thank you so much for the very motivational and also insightful presentation. And also same thing to Dr. Aguilera from the state level, which is very, very appreciated. And also I want to thank you all for taking time off on a busy Sunday afternoon, because you don't get paid for coming over here.
What?
You only get paid on time. We do have a little bit, since we're a non-profit organization, so I did provide a little bit small token. So, we can take a quick picture. Thank you for coming. And by the way, I think your presentation can be shared. So you will be on our website, and I will ask our Ellen webmaster to do it. Our format, we have Ellen, and we can take one more picture with our format. Lee and Peter, I think one was our 4 members. They have to take if we take the water, we say. Look at the rules one time. much. Thank you, everybody, for coming.